Finally back. Another day. Oh shit! Oh, you're still here.
Bro, I never left.
What the fuck?
Man, you gotta get some better cable in here. I've almost missed the Rumble.
Well, maybe I should just ease you into it. Maybe we should just talk about it. This is episode 51 of Midwest Midcard.
Big.
Yeah, so we crossed the 50 episode mark finally. First of all, my name is Carlos.
My name is Logan.
Logan is back this week, of course.
Back to back like Cody Rhodes.
He did run it back to back like Cody, man. So before we get the show started, if you're on YouTube, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you're on Spotify, Apple Music, you're listening to the audio, make sure that you leave a 5-star review and then tell your friends. Tell somebody you know. There's the guy at the gas station that goes there around like 10 o'clock at night. He goes there, he buys the pull tabs, he buys the scratch-offs. Tell that guy because he clearly has nothing else to do.
That's right.
And he's trying to hit it big. And you know what? It's not going to happen.
Huh?
There ain't no way. Do you play lottery?
Nah.
No.
I do a lot of sports betting though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, but
man, that's a slippery slope right there. But they do say that 98% of gamblers that stop, they stop before they hit it big. So.
Well, that's there. But then you look at something like the Super Bowl, and you can bet on everything.
Yeah, I went to see the NFC championship game. Yeah, the Lions. Yeah, no, that's not true. It was the Ravens and the Kansas City game first, right? The AFC.
Yeah, it was earlier in the day.
So I went to watch that with some friends, and I should say friends of a friend. And not that he's not my friend, the person that I went to his house to, Chaz, if you're listening to this, which I don't know if you listen to this podcast. But
He's clearly showed you where you stand.
I just name dropped you, and I'll go back to your house one day. But we were watching it, and there was this one guy that was trying to get off, get some of those bets going, and he was. It was funny because Lamar threw a pass to himself. I don't know if you watched that. Yep. So he was like, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So, because, and I mean, they counted as receiving and, obviously like a completion or whatever it is. Yeah. It's pretty wild times. But they lost again. Yeah. The fucking Ravens. What else is new? I'm glad. I'm so happy. And I didn't even realize that I wear my Bengals hat and you wearing your fucking Pittsburgh.
That's right. I had to make sure I wore this.
Yeah, that's dirty, man.
Because wearing it here in front of you makes me feel proud.
It's fucking bullshit. I didn't plan for for me to be wearing my Bengals hat and you wearing the Steelers hat.
Yeah.
Makes me a little sick. So.
But we're tag team partners, so you got to get used to it.
I guess. Brandon is out again. Having some personal stuff, like I said. We're thinking about you, Brandon. We're hoping that you, you're doing as best that you can be doing,
Keeping in them good spirits. That's about all we got.
Absolutely. And hopefully we get you back very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
Because we're coming up on a year of Midwest Midcard.
Yes.
So it's not the next episode, but the episode after, if I'm not mistaken. No. We started this episode on February 11th of 2023. No. So, it was. I mean, we won't be here for our February 11th episode, but we'll be here for like February, I think 15th. So, and then Brandon will be here, and then we'll do something.
Yeah,
we'll at least reminisce on the beginning of the podcast.
One full year of mid-carding it up.
I know, it's crazy. So, you know what? We need to stop getting sidetracked because I know that you're sitting here like fucking waiting for me to be like, I fucking lost the predictions championship. All it took was Bailey winning the Royal Rumble.
Yes,
that's all it took. Makes me sick again.
Not just winning it, Iron Women it.
Yeah, She came in. So apparently she broke Rhea's record,
I believe she did like 63 minutes.
and she was number 5. I
No,
think
5 was Jordan Grace.
Okay, so was she number 4
She
or
was
3? No, she was 3.
Yeah, she was 3,
Because Naomi was 2.
and Natalia was number 1.
Yeah, and who was
4?
I don't remember.
No.
I don't know who was there when Jordan Grace. So I'll go ahead and I'll just get out of the way. Give it up. Here's your championship.
God, it feels so good. And as great as this feels, just like the Ultimate Warrior, just like John Cena.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell is going on? What's happening here?
Sometimes you just gotta put your own little spin on it.
What the hell?
Sometimes you just gotta break out big gold, baby.
So, for the audio listeners, he just unveiled a brand new predictions title. A custom predictions title.
Big gold, baby.
Fit for a champion. It makes me even sicker.
Let me just raise that up.
That he upgraded the title so much. Still rocking the duct tape, though. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah. I like it. You know,
it ain't official, but she's official.
Let's go. So, well, you know, you got the defense coming up, so I guess you do got to come back to the podcast.
Well, I told Brennan, because Brennan said, make sure you let Carlos know that you won that title. I said, trust me, I got something in the bag. Literally,
I should
in
have
the bag.
known when you had a fucking book bag. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, rolling up in style.
Yeah, this is so bad, man. I just want to end the show right here.
This is going to be the cold open right there.
I'm
and
done. Ah, man. What the fuck, man? I'm happy about the results from the Rumble.
Yeah, it was great.
Let's break it down, okay?
Generation X.
Overall, what do you think of what were your thoughts on the show as a whole?
I think the whole show was great. I think the only match that was kind of just the slow burn, I would say, was probably KO and Logan Paul.
Okay.
But it was still like good enough that, I mean, it wasn't one of those I was running to the bathroom or going to get food or whatever. Like, I was still into it. A lot of people are giving flack to the men's Rumble, saying it didn't hit like the women's did. I think they just got really caught up in the surprises that the women's Rumble had, and just how it really felt like there was legit contenders. When it got to the men's, you were like, it's Cody or CM Punk, and then they kind of made it seem like McIntyre or something. But overall, the whole card, I thought it was great.
I think I enjoyed the Rumble. My least favorite match was a Fatal 4-Way for sure. It was good for what it was. I think the part that I hated is that as soon as it started picking up, that's when the match ended. Like, Randy hit the RKO and everyone. And Roman had, he was down for the count, of course. The solo interference kind of sucked. I would have been okay with Roman kicking out. It's unrealistic, but also, at the end of the day, he is the world champion. So if he takes a little bit of punishment and kicks out, as a fucking fluke, essentially, that's fine. And then you don't even have to have Solo there. And you can have Roman win clean. I mean, with all the moving pieces, I just don't think you need interference.
I don't believe you truly need the interference, but I do like the fact that it wasn't the deciding factor of the match.
Yeah.
Like, that being, Solo comes in once again, hits a spike, Roman hits a spear, done. It's been replayed. It's been gone over 1,000 times. When they first did the stack, that's where I was like, okay, cool. They're going to run this back. Because even Paul Heyman earlier in the show, name dropped Edge and Daniel Bryan. He's like, what happened last time Roman was here? And it's true. I was like, okay, damn.
That was also in Florida, yeah. I guess I then didn't think about it. It was at that was a little bit farther away. From,
it was
that was at the
Raymond
Buccaneers
James.
Stadium. Yeah, Raymond James Stadium.
Yep.
So no, I'm with it with that. I did like that. I like I said, I enjoyed the match for what it was. No. I just think that interference cheapened it a little bit. As far as the Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, that's another one that really, really good. It did take a little bit to pick up.
Yeah.
Once it did pick up, it was kind of the finish. And I do like that the ref saw the brass knucks.
For the first time in 50 years in that company, there was a referee who had vision.
Because listen, if there's something that fucking pisses me the fuck off, it's when refs are just blind. And call me a fucking nerd all you want, but I love when like refs enforce the rules.
Yeah.
I think that it gives it like, it gives it that weird bit of like legitimacy that you need to suspend your disbelief on this fucking fake sport, of course. Well, sorry, scripted sport.
Whoa!
Don't say the F word.
But, like, for real, how many times have you seen somebody hit somebody else with a chair right next, like, Lil Nate?
All right, and the thud is so loud, and
yeah,
you know, Eddie made it a point to make it seem like the other person hit him.
Yeah.
So, and that, you know, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, Kyoto was so bad about that.
Yeah.
Lil Nate, you know, all time fucking fumbler. So.
I mean, that motherfucker had some legs on him though. That run at Mania is legendary.
The Mania 24 ramp was also like strangely long.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it was as long as 33's though.
33 had like, I think it was it? Yeah, it was 33 because I remember the Cena run with Brie like, Nikki. Nikki was halfway down the ramp and Cena like came running and like he was like waving her and then like she started to like pick up. But yeah, that was you know what? I think 34 maybe was I feel like one of the later ones was
34 was the New Orleans one with the giant mask.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Then I think maybe 33 was the longest.
Yeah, 32 might have been big because they were in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah, at the AT&T Stadium.
Yeah,
you're right. I don't know, but yeah, I'm. You know, the ref seeing the brass knucks, calling for the DQ, protects Kevin, protects Logan. No. Logan was great. This was the most methodical Logan match.
No.
And maybe that's why it felt so like it didn't feel like his other matches.
Do you feel like they've killed the spot with his punch, with KO kicking out?
Nah, not really.
Because they've kind of built that up as like his thing because it's titanium or whatever. It
definitely had a shelf life, like the punch.
No.
And it's one of those things. It's just easy to like come back from that. If he puts down somebody with it, you know, at his next defense, you know, it's kind of like, okay, you know, it works. No. KO is kind of like a scrappy dude, and he's got that you know, PWG fighting spirit. So I mean, you know, Gargano has it, Cole.
Yeah.
So, you know, they can all kick out of just about anything.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty much every AEW luchador who takes 6 Canadian destroyers has it.
Yeah. What match ended recently on a Canadian destroyer? It was a tag team match. It was Kaden and Katana.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they hit, I think, Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
With a, they hit her with Canadian Destroyer, and it ended the match, essentially.
I love how WWE is like, we need to protect necks, so you can't do a regular sit-out pile driver, but we will have you do a flipping pile driver that literally takes both people being coordinated enough to not spike the other person.
The regular pile driver is such a funny move because that is the most 50-50 move.
Yeah.
Like, you can either... I should say, let's say 70-30. 70% of the time, it looks great. You land it. But at 30%, like, you'll break your neck. Like, for sure.
I mean, yes, it takes the coordination. You got to hold on to everything else. But, like, you got a flipping pile driver.
Yeah.
And WWE for like the past 3 or 4 years, they've had Ray and Andrade do it.
Yeah.
They've had multiple NXT people do it. Hell, it was Adam Cole's finisher.
And Edge hit it in a match. And I think in one of his last matches. Yeah. It may have been his last. No. I don't think he hit it on Sheamus. There ain't no way he hit it on Sheamus.
Like, somewhere Petey Williams is like just crunching paper and just cussing his ass off because he's just like, this was my finisher.
Well, he probably produced that spot.
He might have, but I know it's reached a point where he's like, shit.
No, I like the idea that Petey Williams is in the back, like, and you know, towards the end of the match, maybe you hit a Canadian Destroyer, and they're like, I've never hit a Canadian Destroyer before.
He's like, oh, it's easy. I did it for like 10 years in TNA.
It's like, anyone can do it, you know.
You remember me, little Petey Pump? I got this.
Ricky Morton hit one a few years ago in GCW.
Dustin Rhodes hits one on the outside
That is
every
true.
week.
Yeah, he did hit one recently too.
I'm like, dude, I love the Final Cut.
Yeah.
Like, if I always said if I was a professional wrestler, I would lock it in reverse like a crossroads and pick it up and hit it in a Final Cut.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, man, I think that would look good. It would be sick.
Yeah, it takes some upper body strength to do.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you gotta set it up like a reverse DDT and then snap it.
You know what? I was thinking about Cody. I love the disaster kick, and he doesn't do it anymore.
Nah.
Like too much. He does the Cody Cutter.
Yeah.
And the Cody Cutter's kind of growing on me.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Especially the one he hit on Brock at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That one was nasty. So.
Yeah. I like it in 2K when you hit it off the corner because like he like bounce, hits it off the top and just comes down and nails it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Women's Royal Rumble, fucking Jordan Grace was like the biggest surprise to me.
Badass.
Naomi came out and I don't know if the acoustics in the stadium are weird. She got a pop, but it was just like,
yeah,
is this really happening?
Yeah.
And then the sirens went off for Jordan, and I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
And then when I didn't read spoilers earlier in the day because I know that people were like, I know it had come out that, a big TNA star is, in the building or something.
Yeah.
And then she popped up. I was like, no way. Because it's one thing to have Mickie James.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a WWE legend.
Yeah.
But like Jordan has like no association with WWE in any way.
And it's also big that's their women's champion. So you see that title with TNA's name on it on TV for millions.
And she lasted for a while.
Yeah.
Who eliminated her?
Bianca did the KOD on the
you're
apron.
right. Yeah, and that was crazy. That's such a big spot too for her to be a part of.
That puts Jordan way over because she went hard for a minute just catching people and throwing them around. Corey Graves said, Michael Cole, she's got muscles in place you don't have places.
And and like the other thing is that it obviously makes, I mean, Bianca hitting a KOD, that's a finisher, and she hit it on the apron, so it's not like she just got tossed out by like fucking Nia Jax. They actually they protected her, for lack of a better term. And I think it was cool. Jade Cargill,
she got the pop, she got every bit of the reaction that made her a star. She felt like she belonged. She felt like she had already been champion there. Like, she felt legit. And then she got in there, and the stare down between Nia, and you see the power and stuff. You're like, and then she goes straight into Becky, and was like, this is my time. Like, like I'm here now.
No, I think I loved everything that Jade did.
Yeah,
they booked her to perfection in the Rumble, and they showcased her in a way. She was part of the last four. She was Liv eliminated her before Bayley eliminated Liv to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
So she was in the final three of the Rumble.
Yeah.
She was honestly, I mean, if you want to call it the last two, because the last three were,
Yeah, the last 6 of that match was fucking solid.
Yeah, and the Rumble is always an opportunity to test things out.
Yeah.
The Bianca and Jade face-off, came off great.
Yeah.
Production kills it with this shit. As much as Meltzer was like, Jade didn't know what to do. She had trouble remembering stuff. She stood pretty perfectly in front of Bianca at, within range of the WrestleMania sign. Like, how, it was perfectly framed, okay?
The dual military presses, the stare down, like... And that's another one of those matches. Does not need a title. That is just sick. Who's the best?
Yeah.
Who is that prime athlete?
Yeah, and the only issue that I have with it is that you can't really build like a who's the best. Like, to me, who's the best rivalries just never come off super great.
Nah.
I need there to be something personal, or the title, or a reason as to why they're fighting. Because you could put them in a Mania match, and I think, well, that's a main event to me.
Nah.
Like, I think it can't be a main event. However, right now, they just don't have the story to go with it.
Montez Ford and Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill and Jade's husband, Brandon Phillips.
Hell no. I mean, you could probably train Brandon Phillips to be a wrestler.
Oh, I mean,
it wouldn't take much.
I mean, multi-time MLB All-Star.
Yeah, he's probably okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Baseball players don't weak.
Dude, he's gonna hit a drop kick. It's gonna blow your mind.
Is he a big boy? I think
He's like 6'1".
Let's see. So I know very little about I know very little about baseball. I'm not a baseball fan.
Oh, I'm huge. Yeah, 6 foot, 211 pounds.
Jesus. Okay. Well, shit. So I mean, Montez probably around the same size.
Yeah.
Montez might be a little bit heavier than him. You know what fucked me up about? Listen to this. I was watching the Rumble with a friend that's not a wrestling fan, and he was mind blown, and I was too, honestly, because whenever they were doing the Fatal 4-Way, the introductions, they were like, and coming in at 275 pounds, Randy Orton. And we were both like, 275? There ain't no way Randy's 275. He's like 6'4", 275.
Nah.
Absolutely not.
He might be cooking at a solid 240. Maybe.
I was going to say like 245, if that. Because AJ, they built him at 216, I think. And then LA Knight like 230, I think.
Yeah.
Which, that makes sense. Even LA Knight, I think, LA Knight's probably a little bit heavier than that.
I'd put him around about there because
so?
when you look at them side by side, I'd say him and Randy have about similar builds.
Yeah, I guess, but Randy's just much taller.
Yeah,
so it makes sense. And then Roman even was like 250 or something like that.
Roman would be closer, probably about 260.
You think so?
Yeah,
and that makes a little bit more sense. But like Randy at 275, that's fucking crazy.
That'd be like Andre the Giant went in at 165 pounds. Fighting for the cruiserweight title.
I saw an image that said that Andre was 560. Do you think he ever got up there to 500?
Up to 500? Oh, I bet he passed it.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Hogan said 1,000, but he's.
I bet at probably the end of his life, I would say he was probably 5 to 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I guess I can't really.
But at that size, it doesn't look the same. Like 500 or 600 pounds was what like Yokozuna was when he was champion.
Yeah.
That was before he like really got big. So I mean, it's 7'4".
Yeah.
Because I mean,
he was legit 7 at least.
Yeah. McAfee was talking about Omos. I mean, they bill him at like 7'3" and like 3'4", something like that.
That's his height. I think he's like 7'5", legit.
Yeah.
Because I've read his basketball fucking stats.
Yeah,
and they're not gonna lie on there.
he's fucking enormous.
Yeah. They don't have to lie about his height like they did with Big Show and Taker and everyone.
Yeah.
And Taker was a big boy, but he was like 6'4", maybe.
Taker?
Yeah.
No.
You think he was like 6'8"?
Yes.
No way.
No, dude, he's enormous.
I mean, he's pretty big, but.
Now, they used to bill him, though, closer to like 7. But I would say he topped out at 8.
He didn't look that much taller than Drew. And Drew's like 6'4".
Yeah, but you're also comparing like almost 60-year-old Taker.
No,
like...
I get that. But come on, man. He can't shrink that much.
Got that osteoporosis.
He's still got to be like a little bit. Like he's got to be like up there.
Yeah, but that's like Hogan. Hogan in his prime was supposed to be like 6'9". He said...
No way, he was 6'9".
He said he was like 6'8", 6'9", because he was pretty big. And then he said due to back surgeries and just everything, he's lucky if he probably clears like 6'4" now.
I don't think he was ever that tall.
I wouldn't count it out.
How tall was...
Because you got to remember, like him looking at Andre, he wasn't far off.
How tall was Sylvester Stallone? This is the only way to know.
Oh, I don't know.
Because if so, 5'10".
He ain't no. Is he 5'10"?
That's what the internet says. Okay.
So, fuck the
now,
internet.
Let's see Hulk Hogan.
I know I'm taller than Tom Cruise, and I'm pretty proud about that.
Dude, everyone's taller than Tom Cruise.
That's why Family Guy said little Tom Cruise.
It's not that hard to be taller than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, see?
No way.
See?
Hold on. No way. No way. I still don't think so.
Just look up his height.
I know. But okay, they're not going to tell me his real height.
Yeah, they will.
They're going to tell me his work height.
No.
All right, so here, for the ones watching the video, this is Hogan, and fucking Sylvester Stallone, and there's a stark difference.
Yeah, that's
but
clear.
It looks like Hogan's standing on a box.
He could be.
I don't believe for a second anything that Hogan says either.
I don't trust me. It's not anything I truly believe. But he was
6'7"?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I need to see.
He's up there, man.
Okay, so there's Shaq.
Look at him with Andre from WrestleMania 3.
There's
There's not a whole lot there, and Andre was built at like 7'3", something like that, 7'4" maybe.
No way, dude. Maybe Hogan wasn't, or fucking Andre wasn't that tall. I know he was.
They
tall.
didn't call him Andre the average size guy. He was a fucking giant.
I mean, being 6'10" is far from average.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I don't know, man. I mean, Rocky and Hogan here. Let's see. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but The Rock is like 6'5".
Rock is pretty large.
So
I guess Hogan still looks a little bit taller than him. And if you account for like age.
Yeah. See?
It could be 6'7".
See?
Okay, I'll give him 6'7", but it's like so close. He's like 6'6.9".
He's at 6'6", and it's like at the end of the tape, you're like,
yeah,
I guess.
Like, just give him 7. I don't know. I have to see his medical records. I just don't believe it.
Hulk Hogan, you heard it. Medical records. We don't believe you.
I just cannot fathom this man being that big.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
And I don't know. And whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Cody ran it back.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't believe in him.
Yeah. Me and Cody, back to back.
Yeah.
Me, Cody, and
Hell.
Drink got the drink in us going back to back.
I'm so mad about this title ship, but I'm really happy that Cody won. And let's segue into the Seth Rollins thing on Monday.
No.
We'll skip over the CM Punk stuff
No.
for a second. Just real quick, okay? Cody clearly pointed at Roman after he won.
Yeah.
So, and Cody's going to pick Roman, you know?
Yeah.
And just like last year's build with Kevin and Sammy and will they, won't they? Are they going to end up fighting the Usos? And then it became obvious that they were. And they still kind of played off like it wasn't going to happen.
No.
Even with that in mind, there's nothing wrong with putting a little, like a seed of doubt that Cody may pick Seth.
No.
And it's not, I saw a comment online that was like, well, obviously he's going to pick Roman. Why would he point and why would they do the segment with Seth? Well, maybe at the time he was like, hey, I'm coming after Roman. Yeah. But then after Seth Rollins, one of his best promos he's done in probably quite, I don't want to say his whole career,
but it's
in quite
there.
some time, he sold that title so well that maybe Cody has doubt.
Yeah.
And the thing about Cody is that he, I think he values that workhorse stuff a lot. Yeah. So I do think that he's going to pick Roman, but there's nothing wrong with also Seth being like, hey, like, you can pick me too. Like, I'm also a world champion.
Yeah.
And not only am I a world champion, but I'm here every week.
Yeah.
And I defend the title every week. So, it's going to be the same, when you come to WrestleMania and try to face me, I'm going to defend it again.
Yeah. I think this was one of those things, like I said last week, it's Seth making sure everybody still sees his credibility and him as a champion, even if he's out. Mm-hmm. Like, you can build that story if you want to. You can make your title important. You can do whatever you need to stay relevant on that microphone without overdoing it, without hurting yourself. And this right here was him pointing out to Cody, this title, they made this title because the guy you apparently wanted to go after was never here. This title has been here. It's been on me every week. It's important. It means something. Like, we could put on a fantastic match. We could do number 4 on the grandest stage for this title. You don't have to go after Roman. Like, this is just as important right here. as what Roman's got.
I think the only thing that I was like, maybe not. It's a little nonsensical for Seth to be like, you need to face me when he's lost 3 times in a row to him.
Yeah, but I mean, hasn't been for the title.
Right.
Hasn't been at Mania, so
he should have framed it as, I want to beat you.
Yeah,
and I have the title.
Yeah.
So come after me. You know.
It would be more of one of those things like Shawn when he went after Taker. Like, I don't want to face you. I need to face you.
Mm-hmm. So Seth, no visible brace. So maybe they're trying to stay away from that. For making it like too obvious.
No.
We know the injury exists, but there is some people that are out for Mania. Charlotte is big omission. CM Punk is hurt.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart, man. Not because the biggest thing about this is that there's so many people that are non-believers and that are like, oh, CM Punk got hurt. Fragile mind, fragile ego, fragile body, or whatever. That the Jon Moxley line, which is a great line, by the way.
He has a good one every now and again. It's rare.
Moxley's a good promo. Okay, I would say his promo work was stronger than his in-ring work. But that's besides the point. Yeah. Drew, as the true hater that he is, he came out and he was like ecstatic. I mean, doing his thing, but he had that great line. He said, I want you to know that you got hurt. I want you to know I'm not a religious man, but I prayed for this and it happened.
What a fucking villain.
What a crazy bar, man.
What a nasty son of a bitch. He looked right at him and was like, I don't even care if you broke your elbow. Like, he's just so happy.
I know, that's insane work from Drew.
I think he's really, like, I've heard the contract stuff. Like, they ain't figured out their whole story yet, what they're wanting to do, or if he's going to re-sign, or what money they're looking at. But these past, like, couple months, he's really just stepped up the mic. Like, he's a great heel right now. Like, I know Brennan's probably hating on him a little bit, but I mean,
he hates Drew for some reason.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. He's
selling me so much on him. So he cooled down a little bit last year, but obviously pandemic year. Pre-pandemic, he was the biggest star they had.
Oh yeah, by far.
And
him and Lashley carried that company.
And he can still be a great foil to the people on Raw.
Yeah.
I think they should put the title on him.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Like I believe why not, since Punk's out, why not go ahead and give him his WrestleMania moment in front of people, and then if you want to have him lose it to Rollins at like SummerSlam or something, give him like a decent run with him, then you can redo maybe Rollins and Punk for next year's Mania or something like that.
Yeah. I think the Rollins match is still, it might not have the same sting next year.
I feel like we haven't had enough of a taste of it to really see if it'll have that same sting, because all they've done is one promo and kind of hint at that's where they're going.
Yeah.
But they haven't locked up. They haven't really gave each other super jabs or nothing. Like, I feel like it could still work.
I think as I'm thinking about this, I'm writing a story for myself.
There you go.
The only way that you can make it work, to me now, you don't have the impact of being like, hey, you were in a different company, you came here, why are you here? I've been the flag bearer for WWE, for the World Championship, for Raw for so long. You're not going to come into my house and all that shit. I just don't think it will have the same weight, because at that point, Punk is going to be in WWE, gone, and then come back from injury. He's going to come back as a babyface. Now, Punk is good enough that he doesn't have to be a babyface, but I just think it'll be hard to, to do that 180 into being a heel if he has to be.
I don't think they'll boo Punk.
Yeah, they won't. I mean, he could be a son of a bitch, and he could. People are gonna cheer him regardless. So you could make Seth be the bad guy at that point, and you could be like, hey, like you came back, I told you to stay out, and you got hurt, and like now you want to like go after me, like there ain't no way you make it to Mania this time, and then make it about that. And I still, you know what? Sometimes they get so lucky, they have like happy accidents, like the Cody thing, tearing his pec.
Yeah,
it was like, it. I mean, it obviously sucks that it happened.
Yeah,
but it came out of like the perfect time.
Yeah, completely took away months. That's how they built up everything else. And then when it was time for him to come back, boom, Rumble, straight to Mania.
It was
straight
perfect.
Up. Yeah, it was great. it literally could not be wrote any better.
But somehow, sometimes life is stranger than fiction.
No.
I think. So, yeah, you can't frame a better, I think, having Punk leave and come back. And come back just in time for the Rumble.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, like, literally, like, I believe Punk's injury will have him out just long enough to where he would be around Rumble.
It'll be September, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, you either kind of hold back a little bit, or you have him, like, do an attack, do some promos, don't get in the ring, Rumble, do it again. There's possibilities everywhere.
CM Punk is 100% drug free. Like, yeah. There's no doubt in my mind about it, and that is why I think he gets hurt. And I'm not saying that he should take steroids.
just some heroin, and you'll be right out there, just a little bit.
I'm not saying that he should do drugs by any means. Yeah. Don't. I don't believe that for a second. I don't condone that. What I'm saying though is that the people that do steroids, may be a little more resilient.
Oh, I mean, look at AJ. He's fucking ripped.
And obviously, Ray with the stem cells and shit like that.
Yeah. He had surgery in his knee 5 times.
I'm not condoning the drug use, but I'm saying that there's no doubt in mind that he's drug free because these things happen. I think his body is not what it used to be, of course. He's an old man. Like, he's an older man. He's not an old man, but he's an older man.
He's mid-40s and really hasn't changed his style.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that plays part in it. Like, Daniel Bryan had to change his after getting hurt. I believe, like, he can still do some of the things, but
I think most of the things, but
that's I don't think he needs to do any springboard clotheslines anymore or anything. For sure. Like,
he got hurt in a really simple move. Yeah. And ironically, I think
wasn't it
I think Moxley hurt him with the same exact move.
I was getting ready to say he got hurt off the Future Shock, didn't he?
Yeah, and Mox hits the double underhook DDT, which is
Dirty Deeds.
I think that's Dirty Deeds. The Death Rider. Death Rider is when he hits it like elevated.
Yeah.
I love the Death Rider, by the way. I think it's a great move.
It's in my moveset on 23.
It was my finish for a long time. I love the Death Rider. But with CM Punk, yes, he has not changed his style.
No.
Which, let me do a little commercial. People on Twitter say whatever, they say whatever fucking dumb shit they want. But to be like, oh, CM Punk looked washed. Have you ever watched a CM Punk match? My man has never been athletic.
Nah.
He's never been fast in the ring.
Nope.
Like, stop playing, because CM Punk has never been, like, the thing about Punk is that he's sloppy and he's unathletic, but he's still so fucking good. Yeah. Like, that is the charm in CM Punk.
The first thing they want to say, oh, you want this guy to beat a Mania? He's already gassed 10 minutes in.
Well, and I was going to also add to the whole being older, I think he should just have more matches.
Oh, yeah. The fact that they haven't had him on TV until the Rumble, I think that was a bad move.
Especially for his body.
Yeah.
Because you have to build those calluses. Yeah. He was out for some time since he got hurt after Wembley, right? Or was he not hurt?
He was hurt after Wembley, I believe.
So even if he wasn't, I mean, being outside of the ring, it's just never good for you, from what I understand from listening to wrestlers.
Yeah. His only injury that came from something stupid was him jumping into the AEW crowd and breaking his foot.
Right. Everything else, every other injury he's had has been for stuff in the ring. And I think this was a virtue, freak accident, or just not having enough callus, not stretching. It could be a number of things.
Probably.
He seems to be he seems to be in pretty decent shape. I mean, as good of a shape as you can be in when you're in like 45.
Yeah.
Without using like any enhancers, which I wouldn't. I'm just saying, Phil.
Scott Steiner.
I'm just saying, Phil. Sometimes you need a little help. I'm sure the straight edge society will be. I'm sure they'll be okay with it. I mean, not really. Honestly, I don't condone. If you can responsibly use, like, steroids, trend, whatever it is. If you can responsibly use it, if you're like checking with a doctor, if you are not getting it from sketchy sources, I think there's a lot of resources to do it correctly. I'm not saying CM Punk should do it. I'm just saying that in general, if they want to use it, there's just ways to do it right.
Yeah, don't trust that guy in the back of the Planet Fitness being like, you want to get big?
Yeah, hell no. And you obviously got to train very hard.
Yeah.
And people that do steroids, they still train very fucking hard.
Yeah,
so
because you got to get everything that you put into it, and if you don't, like, you're just affecting your body for no reason.
That's not taking it away from them. I'm just saying.
Nah.
I'm gonna miss CM Punk a lot.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
Having CM Punk on TV, not having him on TV on the road to WrestleMania, it's gonna hurt.
But what? Okay, so how do you feel about him throwing elbows into McIntyre with the bad arm?
So
do you see that as like a Cody Rhodes, like it's already fucked up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's adrenaline in his soul.
Because he didn't hesitate. He like threw a couple lefts, and then he's like,
never mind.
This arm's already fucked. What am I gonna do?
I think pain management is probably, or it could be a work. It could be a really good work.
Damn.
Because there was a backstage, like a little backstage thing with CM Punk and Cody hugging, and he looked distraught. So
I'd probably say he's legitimately hurt, and it really did tear him up because he was finally getting what he wanted 10 years ago, and just one odd positioning of a move, and
if it's a work, this is like a Montreal Screwjob size work. I'm saying if the Montreal Screwjob was a work, which it wasn't. There's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
I think he just got hurt, though.
Yeah, probably.
But if it's a work...
If it's a work, it's the greatest work of all time.
If it's a work, AEW should close their doors down.
Yeah, AEW, go home. Like, Tony Khan, just wear the Jaguars mascot uniform because you look like a joke. Nothing you will write will compare. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, or it could be, they could be hiding the severity of it. Maybe it's not as bad as they seem, they're saying.
I don't know, man.
No, I mean, most definitely, it's not a work. I'm coping when I say that. I want it to be a work so bad, but it's not gonna happen. It just sucks. But they're telling a story now. Now we're just telling a story. Now we're just back to wrestling.
Carlos is wanting to donate his tricep to CM Punk so he can get this Mania match.
Now the Drew match, though. The Drew feud is going to go crazy.
Oh, God. You know what you took from me?
Yeah.
You took everything from me.
And Drew, he's been so good lately. So I'm happy for Drew to be able to not to take away from CM Punk. I think Drew should still go to AEW for the record. But now he's got to wait. Come on.
Don't do it, Drew. You will end up on fucking Collision and the second hour facing Gravity for no reason.
So let's kind of let's segue into this is in relation to the whole AEW thing.
Yeah.
So first, Okada. I wish I remember his Kazuchika Okada, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I fucked it up. Hey, listen. I am a fan. I don't watch New Japan, on a weekly basis or monthly basis, but I try to catch, at least Wrestle Kingdom.
I think you'd have to be up at about 3 a.m. to watch it normal time for them, but yeah.
And I try to I follow. I felt like I know who the champions are. I know who the talent is.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm the biggest fan or whatever.
No.
But I do like Okada. I like some Okada matches.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Kenny Omega match is great.
Yeah.
But the Naito match from a few years ago, fantastic. Even the Sonata match is.
Yeah.
I mean, And some people just don't like Sonata, but
Nah.
I think it's a virtue of New Japan really wants him to like be pretty and be fucking Tanahashi. He's just not.
I think it's who he's just followed up because I mean he's literally followed Okada, he's followed Kenny, and he's followed Jay White.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty tough competition.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's sort of like 3 heavyweights, and it sucks to see Jay White, now. And I'm not. That's not to take away anything from the people he's surrounded himself with. Everyone in BC Gold is pretty talented. The Acclaim, some good guys, but he's just Jay White is just not like he's just not what he used to be.
No, because like I was hoping he was gonna go to WWE because I thought like at least a run in NXT. Maybe if they just gave him the AJ and just shot him up, I was like, he's gonna feel important. He's gonna feel big, and now he just kind of feels like he's just on the roster.
With the personality he showed in BC Gold, don't tell me he wouldn't fit in NXT 2.0, not 2.0, but current NXT.
Yeah.
He would just, he'll be funny, and he would have personality, and he would just be really good.
Yeah, and I think him, working with, William Regal and Shawn Michaels, tell me he would not evolve even more.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially whoever wants to be like, they shouldn't go to NXT. Like, Okada shouldn't go to NXT. Motherfucker, I think Okada can learn something from Shawn Michaels.
Tell me Okada, Jay White, and Braun Breaker in NXT under Shawn Michaels wouldn't slap.
That would be insane. That would be some insane shit. And for my money, NXT is the best sports entertainment show on a weekly basis.
That match would sell more than 1,600, Tony Khan.
Did you, just this week, the whole Chase U thing happened.
Yeah.
So they had to close down. But then JC Jane was like, I have a plan to save it. We're going to sell the fucking Girls of Chase U calendar. Like, it's corny. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's so fucking great, man. Come on. Like, how can you not love that shit?
How great is she, too?
JC, she stepped up.
She was great in Toxic Attraction. But then when her and Gigi split, I was like, I don't know what they're going to do.
No, she was Marty Jannetty, for sure.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what they're planning on doing because you just, like you said, Marty Jannetty just punted Sean in the face through a door. Yeah. And I was like, what are you going to do? Because I thought Gigi's very talented, and she's had a lot of experience in other places. But JC's cleaned house on that.
Yeah, I mean, putting JC and Chase U has been like such a blessing.
Yeah.
And everyone involved in Chase U is great.
Oh, Thea Hall is going to be something else, too.
Thea's fantastic. She's so young, too. She's like 20?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Like, Sean just picks, these crazy, athletic, beautiful girls that are going to... I tweeted it out during the Rumble. I said, all of these women, and not even and the other ones in NXT... WWE has the strongest, best women's division, and they will be fine for years.
And I fucking told you Tiffany was going to be there. And she was. And she fucking killed it.
As soon as she came out, I'm like, Tiffy time.
I was so happy to see Tiffany. Okay. And Tiffany's one of those girls that I saw her and I was like she's gorgeous. She's very beautiful. And that's what obviously attracted me to her. But then, she got in the ring and she started doing some fucking crazy shit. The street fight with Becky, the NXT deadline, even before that, her title, run. She's so good.
Yeah,
and she's still also so young.
What's the other one in NXT? Sol Ruka.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's
athletic, talented, everything. Even somebody like Nikita Lyons, you see her and you're like, they're kind of pushing somebody, blah blah blah. She's athletic and she can do the shit. She
needs a lot of work.
Yeah, Nikita, I'm not
she's really rough.
I'm not calling her Asuka or nothing, but that's the top of the tree.
Yeah, and Tiffany had to learn on the job as the champion and. Yeah. Her title reign was cut short. I don't think she's coming to the main roster.
No.
But I've been hating on the mid-card women's title. It might be time.
Like I said, my theory on the mid-card is if they ever did it I would push for a women's television title.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's been an issue for a long time, is women getting on TV. So why not create a television title, make it for the women? I think there's plenty of contenders for it.
And Raw's 3 hours. Like you can't put a mid-card women's division,
and especially with
the Netflix deal. Yeah,
you're gonna have to build that time.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you're not gonna if you want to invest in having the tag team division be really strong, then sure. But I think there's room for I mean, now seeing people like Jade, not that Jade is a mid-card talent, but with people like Jade.
But she was treated that way in AEW because that TBS title is not on the same level as the women's.
What a waste of a great streak. I'm not Jade was perfectly fine in AEW. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, they treat her like fucking garbage.
No.
But they did, she was stuck in the mid-card division because she was the TBS champion for so long, and she couldn't lose. Yeah. So whenever she lost, it's like, well, what the fuck? If she's not going to be the world champion, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And
they should have used that title as something to elevate more women into the main picture, because then you had somebody like her who was practically undefeated. You could have made her make some kind of jump, because I mean, I'm not trashing on Saraya or nothing, but you give her the title and everybody knows her medical history. You could have gave that to Jade and really pushed a star.
I think Saraya is great. I just don't think she's good enough to overcome the neck thing.
Yeah.
As much as she would like to be like, oh, I'm fine or whatever. You have to be you have to be Bryan Danielson to overcome that.
I think a lot of wrestlers have seen the Edge Daniel Bryan stuff, and they're very lucky. You have to have a bad enough neck that it's scary for you to do this, but it's good enough that you're like, fuck it, let's see what happens.
And it's not even about yes, they're extremely lucky, but they're also really fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Edge, and and some people don't like Edge's style. I mean, it's fine. He's always just been kind of slow, methodical.
Yeah.
But Danielson, he's, I mean, for my money, he's one of the best in the world.
Oh yeah.
If not the best in the world. I mean, some would argue for other people.
He's gotta be, for the complete package, promo, wrestling skills, draw you in with a story. I guarantee he's within the top 3 in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great mind for the business too. Yeah. So, and I don't know shit, but I know that he's really fucking good.
But you hold a wrestling podcast, my guy.
Hey man, anyone can have an opinion.
Yeah. So
anyone can sit in front of a microphone. I think any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance. So with all this in mind, with the state of AEW, the state of NXT, Okada going to WWE, I think is his best bet.
Yeah.
As far as the money, as far as position, he can probably just kind of retire there and have a easy career Nakamura. Yeah. I think Nakamura is perfectly content with just doing,
I will probably guess Nakamura will retire in WWE, if not quit and then do a few in New Japan just to end it that way. But I think the only thing AEW might be able to convince Okada to come in there is with the checkbook, because Tony's going to drop a lot of money, because I don't see how anybody in there, especially a Jay White's going to look at Okada coming in and be like, yeah, man, look how great my run's been. I've been Ring of Honor 6-man champion, and that's it.
To be fair, I don't think he should go to AEW or WWE. I think that if anyone needs him and can benefit from him, it's TNA. I mean, truly.
I was gonna call it. I was gonna say it.
I mean, it's true. Yeah. I think I wish he could go there. I know they can't afford him.
Nah.
I wish he could go there, because he would be a true attraction to have.
Just recently, his match with the Motor City Machine Guns against the System.
Right. So, and then you bring him in. You do the attraction matches, just like they did with Will Ospreay recently, with him and Mike Bailey. Bringing in Okada, he's got history with TNA. It looks like he's made peace with them in a way. So
I think the TNA that he was used to was more of a joke, and then he's seen how small they got, and then he's realizing like they're coming back, and they're coming back with like fans. They're coming back with an energy. They want to be an alternative.
I think from the ground up, TNA's trying to become what AEW was.
Yeah.
Early 2020, probably 2019 through like 21.
Yeah.
Where they were like true, like, hey, you don't want to watch what WWE's putting on for you?
Yeah.
Come see this instead.
I'm begging you, Scott D'Amore and Triple H, please do the fucking crossover show.
There's
Please.
gotta be something.
I'm begging you, even if it's just all the women, please. Masha Slamovich against like fucking Becky Lynch would blow up the internet.
Yeah, I'd love to see Killer Kelly. I would love to see, MK Ultra versus, somebody like, I think it would be cool with Kaden and Katana. But, you can just make makeshift tag team, Indy and fucking Candice LeRae or somebody like that. I just want to see Killer Kelly.
Yeah.
I love I just like Killer Kelly, so.
Like, you tell me like a Moose and a Bobby Lashley match wouldn't hit.
I don't fucking like Moose, so fuck him.
Tell me a Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY wouldn't hit.
Oh, that would be awesome. I mean, if the Usos were around, but they're not really around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you put that match in like old black and gold NXT,
Yeah. No, that would be insane.
Yeah.
And Shelly he did the team with Kushida.
the Dusty Rose Classic.
Yeah. Shelly was there. It's fucking crazy
Yeah.
looking back.
They're just like randomly, hey, here's Alex Shelley. I'm like, son of a bitch.
No, dude, I hated Moose beating him.
Yeah. It was.
I'm not a Moose guy, man. I don't like Moose. I think they have so many like good guys. I think they should just hotshot fucking Nick Nemeth and just be the champion.
They're probably going to.
Oh, that's a very TNA thing to do. To just give him the title.
I don't know. The fact that he had like one interaction with Moose, and that was at the pay-per-view, and then since then he's had Steve Macklin. He's had a match against Zachary Wentz.
Yeah.
And I believe he had another one with somebody, but I can't remember who. Like, he's really, like, earning his keep in TNA. He's like,
oh, yeah.
I know you guys just seen me for, like, 20 years do my shit over there, but...
Yeah. So, who's the digital media champion? Crazy Steve?
Steve.
He beat Dreamer, right?
Yeah.
And then, obviously, Jordan is the women's champion. I would be down to seeing, like, do, like, an Evolution show, but do it, like, TNA, WWE.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. TNA's got a lot of great women in there that, Giselle, like you said, MK Ultra is still there.
Zaya Brookside.
She was NXT UK, right?
Yeah.
It'd be a little weird because it'd be like,
if they really did the crossover, I mean, they probably couldn't have some people there because they would be, unless, I mean, Michael Cole was pretty fucking adamant of being like, hey, look, there's Naomi. She just got done in TNA.
They highlighted TNA very, very heavy.
Yeah.
Like, super heavy.
Pat McAfee was like, that's what TNA's got? Talking to Jordan Grace, they're like, she's got a weapon.
I think that the fact that Pat is like, feels like such an outsider, it's really great for his commentary.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad he's back on Raw.
It's great.
He's just a good foil for Cole. Brings out the best in Michael Cole.
Yeah.
And I like Graves.
I'm interested to see how Graves and Barrett do together.
Wade do, bro.
Because they're both such heels.
And I don't know if Graves can be a play-by-play. He would have to tone it down like a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It might be the best commentary team, or it might be the worst ever if they can like keep it together. To call the match. At the end of the day, I want somebody to call the match. Okay.
Yeah.
As much as I like the banter, I need somebody to be calling the match. So that's why a color and a and a straight man or the fucking play-by-play.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go about it.
That's where, I mean, it kind of would suck for Corey, but that's where I would have liked Nigel McGuinness and Wade Barrett to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, McGuinness was pretty great.
Because he does just enough to like be funny, but he's also calling it.
Yeah, he's a good. He's a good mix of like a play-by-play, but also like doing some color commentary.
Yeah.
And he's got his favorites, which that's something that I always liked about, people like Jim Ross. There were he fucking hated Triple H. Yeah, but there were like he had his guys, and I don't think that there should be heel and face commentators.
Yeah.
I think there should be like, obviously, they mostly should be faces, and then they should have just their guys that they like. And even when Stone Cold was being shitty, Jim Ross was still kind of like, I mean, it's okay.
Which Corey is pretty much on the even unless he sees Pat or Carmella's out there. Yeah. Then he's just creaming his jeans. He's like, oh my God, ain't she the most beautiful woman ever? We're like, we get it. You're married. Calm down.
Yeah, why shouldn't he be popping for Carmella, though? I'll give him that. He can have that.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for him.
No, absolutely. Is she hurt or did she have a baby? I don't know. She had
anymore.
A baby. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
Like her and Alexa Bliss all got like pregnant.
They got pregnant at the same time.
Like pretty much the same time.
I feel like Bliss is. I think Bliss is gonna retire.
There was a rumor she was there for Mania this weekend.
For the Rumble?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Rumble, not Mania.
WrestleMania.
Holy shit, we're in April.
I think she's gonna be done unless she gets the itch.
I don't know. It's really just gonna come down to whatever she feels like. She's done a lot. I think she's like a 5-time champion. She's been the tag.
She was also really closely linked with Bray, so I don't know what that does to your psyche.
I'm sure it's a lot because, I mean, I don't know if it's truth, rumor, whatever, but I've heard something about like they wanted to kind of do something with Bray's brother, whose name Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas, yeah.
And like he's just kind of stepped away from everything for a while, which I completely understand. So
yeah, I think he just has a producer or just an ambassador. I mean, Titus O'Neil doesn't really do much, and he's still, he hangs out.
No.
He's around, so you can do that. I mean, he's not. I don't know. He's got Bo's got the connections that Titus does, but it is what it is.
I was hoping that once Nick Aldis got in there, Mickey was gonna come back, but I guess she's working for OVW now.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, good for OVW.
That's Al Snow's rolling in it right now.
They need somebody like Mickey James so bad, especially watching the. I don't know if you watch. Did you watch Wrestlers?
I have not yet. No.
So you should try to watch it. There's gonna be a glaring it's gonna make you a little mad because I don't know if you are an Al Snow guy or not, and I'm kind of 50-50 on him. But a lot of times, there's this one dude, Matt. He runs like a radio show in Kentucky. He's like the owner of OVW, or he's like part owner, whatever. And a lot of times he's like, "Hey Al, we should do this. I think this would bring in fans. I think this the local people would like this." And Al's like, "No, it doesn't make sense. It's not wrestling or whatever." And it's just so frustrating that Matt's always trying to find him ways to make money, and Al's always like, "No, the business, just being."
Which they're all fine with as long as Big Show's there giving a 2-for-1 AEW ticket.
Yeah, what the hell was that? They need somebody like Mickey though, like a good mind for the business, and also they need like a good female locker room leader / producer, whatever she is. I think she's she's something for the women now.
She's like head of creative for women.
Yeah,
a bunch of other stuff with it. There was a bunch of titles.
Absolutely need somebody that'll keep the girls straight too, because especially Hollywood Haley J, she needs it. She needs it really bad. They need a good mentor that is not fucking Al Snow.
I just wanted her to go back to WWE because whether she was in the ring or not, I was like, even if you have her behind the scenes, her and Molly Holly producing matches and shit,
and Tyson Kidd is great. He's a fantastic producer.
Phenomenal.
And so is Jason Jordan. So
there's a dude I wish would have never got injured because he could have. I mean, yes, he was limited for who was running it and stuff like that, but I mean. You put the IC title on him or something, he probably could have had a really good run.
Yeah, he was, and I liked his tag team with Claudio. So
yeah.
Anyway, we can start to wrap it up. I think we've done enough this week. I don't think we're gonna go a minute 40 this time. But thank you again for being here. For filling in for Brandon. I wanted to remind everyone. Of course, like I said at the top of the show, to like this video, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. Make sure you follow the show at Midwest Midcard on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, and of course on YouTube. Yep. Every now and then there'll be, we put the podcast up, but I want to make an effort to have more wrestling related content on the YouTube channel.
There you go.
And once things come back to being a little bit more normal with Brennan, we'll start working on some stuff. We're coming in on 1 year of the show. At episode 53, I think will be when we call the anniversary episode for the most part.
There you go.
We'll have you back as long as you want to come back for Elimination Chamber, so you can defend your title.
Champ's here, baby.
And then depending on the results of that, we are, you may come back again or maybe not. We'll see.
I don't see myself losing anytime soon.
Okay.
I'm the best in the world at what I do.
Yeah. The road to WrestleMania, man. It's crazy. It's here. It's coming. It'll be here before you know it.
I'm so excited. Like, these are my 3 favorite, like, just back to back to back. I love the Rumble. I love the Chamber. The Chamber's going to be huge this year.
Absolutely. I mean, literally huge.
And all of these outside of the U.S. shows this year, I feel like are just miles ahead of everything else.
Oh yeah, they're on a hot streak, man, and they're not stopping anytime soon.
Like,
so
it's great.
Anyway, if you want to find me on social media, I am at EricCarlos97. Probably just Twitter and TikTok, and I don't know. Nah, probably just Twitter. Just follow me on Twitter. I say some stuff sometimes. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LDC0707.
Perfect. So make sure you give him a follow.
Yeah. Let's talk some wrestling.
And that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with more. Do you want to sign us off?
Oh, you know what? You always got to remember to live, laugh, love, and wrestle. Come back next week when the normal guy's going to say this shit. The champ is here.